Sarah here. How's everybody? I'm just walking down the lane on the farm to gather some blackberries. Just been out on a dog walk and noticed that the bramble bushes are overflowing with blackberries. So I thought I'd go and collect some and somebody else can make some jam. I'm just making my way down through my son's theatre area so I can give you a quick look at that as well. We've got an amazing play on this weekend which is called Kitty, and it's written by a local woman about a character who lived quite close by to here that has a story around her life, and they're putting a play on this weekend which I'm really looking forward to. Makes a change from ones that I recognise, so this is its premiere, which is cool. And what else have I been thinking about today? Well, I've been thinking about how the spirit of bramble is a real protector of areas, you know, because it has thorns on the brambles that can make really dense hedges. So perhaps in days of old people would have used the spirit of bramble in their spells for protection, for creating a protective circle around whatever they were working with. And it's associated with the south direction because it's this is the prime time, the summer of abundance, as we kind of now pass through the Lion's Gate into the descent into autumn. And that bramble has prickles, and we sometimes need, I'm just going to show you the sort of pathway down, look at that, how magical. And at night there are all solar lights that shine the way down. I'll show you when we get to the bottom. So bramble is a really interesting plant spirit to work with, and I'm going to go down there now and pick some blackberries so that we can, or somebody else, I'm not very good at making jam, can make some jam. And I've just been thinking about, this time as we go, as I say, through into the Lionsgate portal, so it's associated with Leo energy, fire energy, and it got me thinking about the salamanders, the elementals, the elemental spirits that are associated with fire, the fire spirits. But first, I'm just going to show you. Look, really lovely, nice. Very simple stage, some bales to sit on. Quite a lot of people bring their own chairs as well. This is a bar area. So the bar area here. And the reservoir beyond. And we've got a lot of wildlife down here. I've just seen some baby coots, and we often have herons. There are otters here, not at the moment actually, but maybe they've gone somewhere else. And it's just such a lovely spot to have for a summer's evening as entertainment. So if you're in the Colchester area, Essex or Suffolk, look up Blackbrook Theatre rather, at Glebe Farm, for the programme of events on through the rest of this month. It finishes on the end of August. So the fire elementals, the salamanders, why are they called salamanders? Well, they've been associated with that name for millennia, and you can find illustrations of salamanders in very old text. And the reason that the animal salamanders, which are a bit like newts, are associated with fire because they used to, in forests, because they're amphibians, they used to live in the nooks and crannies at the bases of trees, which are always moist and wet. And if there was a forest fire, then the salamanders would be protected by this moist moss and what have you in the base of the trees. And they would come out when, you know, the fire had passed and perhaps many other animals had died. And people then associated them with maybe the magic of being something special, the spirit of the fire that was able to survive this horrendous natural disaster. And so salamanders were associated with fire. And the elementals themselves have a really important role to play in the growth of the planet. I'm just going to sit down actually for a minute before I get to my blackberries. So they help us as humans, they help us with the fire within us, so they are helping us with creativity. They are the antithesis of science, if you like, which is a cold process of analysing things. They are associated with the fire of creativity. And when we feel that fire in our belly, excited about something, excited about a project or a new thing in our lives, it's the salamanders that are assisting us in this process. And with trees and plants, they assist nature by creating that warmth to make the flowers on the trees and the plants, and they're creating this warmth for it to make this beautiful flower, and then assisting the bees and the butterflies to come and take the nectar and fertilize the flower so it can make the seeds, which then produces the fruit. So the salamanders are vital to the earth's regeneration. They are bringing that warmth into the areas that need warmth to grow and to be abundant. You know, the other elements are the undines, which are water spirits, and the sylphs, which are the air spirits, and the gnomes, which are the earth spirits. But the salamanders have a reputation for being as destructive, if you like, as they are encouraging growth. So, you know, fire can rip through a forest and destroy everything. And the salamanders are these, they've been depicted as looking like comets. So, you know, perhaps if you are sitting in a woodland like this and you see a flash of light in front of you and you're not quite sure what it was, but it looked a bit like a streak of light, those are the salamanders moving through the air, through the sylphs. And they also bring the energy of the sun to us, so that they're moving up and down the sun's rays, bringing in the power and the energy of the sun down to the earth, and, you know, putting it in the ground, putting it in the trees and plants, and putting it in humans too, so that we are able to utilize that warmth to grow or to be creative or however else, or passionate, or, you know, it's all with the help of the salamanders. And I just think this time of year now, as we're at the zenith of the summer, if you like, is that the salamanders have been working really, really hard to get everything to come to fruition. And it would be nice to just acknowledge these amazing elementals as you walk through nature, or even if you feel it within yourself, you're feeling some kind of heat coming up about something. Just thank the salamanders for being there and creating this environment for new things to come in, for sort of projects to be built or what have you. Anyway, I'm going to go and find these blackberries. Catch you in a minute. We've got a bumper crop of sloes as well this year. This is the blackthorn tree, and these are sloes. If you bite into them, they have this really kind of it's not bitter, it just dries your mouth up. It gives you like kind of quite a sharp, dry taste to them. Anyway, you can make sloe gin from these, and they are still not quite ripe. They're still a little bit hard, and actually the old wives' tales or whatever say that you shouldn't pick them until the first frost anyway, because that'll just soften the fruit a little bit. But we've got loads here, all along here, so loads of sloe gin to be made. Here are a load of blackberries, and I'm not entirely sure I'm going to get all those down. The saying goes that you should eat or only pick blackberries up until the 15th of August. And I'm not quite sure what that date has got to do with anything, except they say that the devil's in them after the 15th of August, meaning, I think, probably, that they'll get the worms. The flies will have had time to lay their eggs and get worms, but maggots growing in them rather. But I've never bothered too much. I just eat them anyway until they're too dry or too small to eat. When my children were small, we used to call this walk the Witch's Wood, because it was kind of quite dark. A few trees have come down since then, but it was dark with these sloe bushes on one side and the brambles and nettles on the other side. And definitely it feels today like a witch's wood, because the nettles and the brambles are making an impenetrable wall, definitely protecting something. I think probably protecting the beauty of the reservoir, the wildlife that's down here. I've done a post I did a post last year on blackthorn and these incredibly sharp, you can see, sharp needle-like thorns, which were used as needles, and they're really, you don't want to get them stuck in your finger basically. So this witch's wood is really protected by both the blackthorn on one side with its sharp needle-like thorns and the nettles and blackberries on the other side. Really interesting to have such a protected walkway through here. So you can bear witness today how the salamanders are doing their work. You know, the warmth of that, that very bright sun up there, coming down and warming up the plants to produce these wonderful fruits, on both the sloes and the blackberries. And it's nice to give thanks for this fruit. And here you can see how the salamanders are the foxes as well. Nice bit of fox poo, absolutely full of blackberries and sloes. Yeah, here they come through the leaves of the trees, down into the earth. Those wispy will-o'-the-wisps of light.